everybody. Wow, man. This is cool. Good times.
Hey, 1, 2, 3. Legend has it that ZZ Ward was born in 1986. She's an American singer-songwriter. She was born in Pennsylvania, but lived in Roseburg, Oregon. She signed with Hollywood Records to release her debut extended album, Criminal, which preceded the release of her debut studio album, Til The Casket Drops, that same year.
Her second studio album, The Storm, which came out in 2017, peaked atop the Billboard Blues Albums Charts. Her third studio album, Dirty Shine, came out in 2023. It was released independently and met with critical acclaim. And on Friday, March 14th, she releases her next album on the famous blues label Sun Records. It's titled Liberation.
We had the chance to speak with ZZ as she was rehearsing for her tour that starts next week. Please enjoy our chat with ZZ Ward.
Hi, ZZ.
How are you guys?
Really good.
Nice to meet you.
Such a pleasure to have you on. My co-host here has been playing your music in his car when we'd travel like somewhere to go see a show or something for a long time, saying, we got to get this done. We got to get this done. And he's absolutely right. I'm glad that we are. Welcome. Yes, welcome to our podcast, ZZ Ward. The new album comes out on March 13th called Liberation. And it's really a great record. Congratulations to you.
Thank you.
It's a lot of work on that. There's something about the blues that is so authentic that you can't fake it. You know, it kind of screams out of you and in your music and your playing, as all the great blues artists have in the past. What was it like for you creating all this magic?
I felt so good. Like, I listened back to this album now, and, you know, shortly after it started to all come together, like listening back to the album, I was like, I was just feeling really, really, really good about it. Like, I felt like it's finally like really the album I needed to make at this point in my life and wanted to make for a long time. And it just feels like home to me singing the blues. I mean, I grew up singing the blues. You know, oddly enough, when I was a little girl, like my dad was into the blues, and like I was this little girl listening to the blues. That's what I mean by oddly enough. Not my dad being into the blues, but me being into the blues at that age was you know, not the norm, and just the kind of music that I really connected with from a young age, and I grew up singing it. So, you know, I think that my voice and, you know, my expression is really you know, it has a special home with the blues. So I'm glad to hear you say that. It does feel really natural to me. Yeah.
I like the album and the fact that you there's 14 cuts on it. 7 are covers and 7 are originals. And we had George Thorogood of George Thorogood and the Destroyers on last year. And one of the things that we really appreciated by him is that how many songs he covered that were never brought out to the public, that we didn't know as blues fans. And I feel like you've done the same thing. As I look at these 7 songs, I'm like, I know maybe 2 of the artists, and so you've got 5 on there I'm not familiar with. And so I really appreciate you bringing those to the forefront so we can, you know, hear what's been hidden all these years.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, picking covers is there's an art to it if you want there to be. I mean, obviously you could sing anything, but and you know, now working with Sun Records, they have a huge, immense catalog of great music, and obviously some of these covers are not Sun, you know, songs. But so yeah, it was just kind of like figuring out, you know, also what works for me as an artist. You know, every different artist has to figure out what works for them when they're doing the cover. So.
And you didn't choose any female artists, which I know you've praised a lot of female blues artists in the past. I was wondering why you didn't have any female artists on here besides yourself.
You know, it's interesting that you would say that. I think for me, like a lot of times if I'm covering like a male artist, like my voice is going to sound different than theirs. So I think, you know, it's like if I'm going to cover a Bonnie Raitt song, I mean, I'm not really sure what makes that super interesting, you know? Like, because we're, you know, it's like, or if I'm going to cover a Susan Tedeschi song, it's like, we're both like, there's very strong female voices, or an Etta James song. It's like, if I'm going to cover something, I want to bring something to that song that hasn't been done yet, And so I think that would probably be the reason. I don't think it was necessarily intentional, but if I'm like thinking about why that was, I wouldn't exclude a song because it was like from a female artist, but I think it's just finding the right song. So.
Have you ever been to Sun Studios in Memphis?
I have not been, but I have a feeling I'm going to be. I mean, I have a show down in Memphis on this next tour, so I can't imagine I'm not going to be there.
Oh, you're going to be there because this is the first record that you've put on Sun Records. I mean, the iconic label that gave us Johnny Cash and some Elvis and all these other great artists. When you walk in that building, you just get this sense of reverence. It's like, oh my God, all this greatness was in here. And so you're just going to absorb it even more.
Yeah, I can't wait.
A couple of other great songs on this record. One thing that I love about it, like we were talking about authentic and all that kind of stuff, but your song Mother, and for those that don't know, you're like a brand new mom. So moms do so many things, and I think you put it into beautiful words and song just about how much it really, really takes. But people are never going to know that, are they?
No, and like it's funny because a lot of times, like I feel like my music ends up being a little humorous. Like it's not intentional for it to be like that, but like the intensity of my songs is like it's always something I brought to the table as a songwriter. So like for me, like when I knew I wanted to write, I wanted to make a blues album, and I knew that I wanted to write a song, just just to hold the torch up to a song that's just a, burn it down kind of song, like Mother. Once we started making that music for that, I knew it was just one of those songs you got to tell somebody your story. And there's a lot of songs that are written about being a mom that are wonderful and beautiful and like so, it's the best thing you'll ever do with your life without question. But like, I hope when my kids hear that song when they grow up, they just laugh, because it's like, that's when I want to hear a blues song, I want to hear about the pain. I want to hear about the hardship, so that's kind of what I wrote that one about.
You didn't go into a lot of detail. You could have made that song 24 hours,
Yeah.
Also, another great song on there is Lioness and Naked in the Jungle, which are two separate songs, just even though they sound like they could actually go together. But Lioness, and I was listening to the lyrics again today, and I was trying to like understand, that feels like another kind of mom song, like just kind of this protective mother, like
Mama Bear.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mama Lion Cub.
Yeah, for that one, I really was feeling like, I was really nervous to become a mom. Like I had, I was rocking, I had a career, I was doing it. And then it was like, I knew I wanted to become a mother, but I felt really scared about how people would perceive that in the industry, not fans, but like, I felt like people might judge me. People might think I wouldn't be able to work as hard. Or I wouldn't be as valuable, or it wouldn't make me seem as young. Like I was concerned about that. And like, that is something that exists for people that want to become parents. They want to have a family, but they don't want to be judged for it as, that it's going to take away from their work. And one thing I realized after becoming a mother and like living through bringing a human into this world, like I was way stronger than I had ever felt before. So, screw all of those people that would maybe, tarnish their vision of me or what that was before I had kids. I felt empowered and I wanted to write about it. And that's where Lioness came from.
That comes across. And Lioness to me sounds like almost like a James Bond theme. It could be like a 50s or 60s movie score. I mean, I really love the production and the delivery on that.
Thank you.
The first single, Love Alive, that is so good. So good. There's, I always want to be careful when I say, I can hear a bit of so-and-so in your voice, or I can hear a bit of so-and-so in your voice. But it is truly meant as a compliment, because I think the two people that I'm going to mention that, when we're driving in the car and he was playing me Love Alive, and it's like, okay, I hear, he said Adele. I go, yeah, I hear Adele, but there's somebody else. somebody else, and it was Amy Winehouse.
Mm.
And it's just like, not interpretations of it, but your own influence. And it just had that hint of that signature sound that just like, okay, excuse me, people, but there's somebody else that we can put up here towards the top too. I mean, you're right up there with them.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, it's interesting because I love both of those artists so much, and I feel like that's a great compliment. And Love Alive is one of those songs where it's like, to make a blues album for me, I wanted to make sure that it was really authentic to me and my music and the way that I write music, and it's always emotion first for me. Like it has to have a story, because that's what I learned from the blues growing up, was like to tell your authentic story, but to also kind of stay true to some of the form of that blues and the melodies and things like that. So it was all things I was kind of keeping in mind.
I was just going to say something about your accent. I don't think accents really are that easy to diagnose anymore. Like, in the past, you could really tell somebody from the South. But if you go to Atlanta now, it's kind of like you don't really hear a Southern accent. I know you were born in Pennsylvania, mm-hmm. and then you moved to Southern Oregon.
Mm-hmm.
So there's no South there at all. So your speaking and your vocal intonations are really, really interesting. And your speaking voice too. So,
yeah, I don't know what it is. Like, I feel like I'm kind of a mishmash of like, and it depends what mood I'm in, or so I don't know. I think for me, it's like when you turn on that music, I just become somebody, and I become something that is a certain side of me, and different music will bring it out. And I just have so much fun, and I feel so free when I'm writing that. If I want to say a word that's a little in my own way, I just do that, and yeah, it just depends. It depends who I'm hanging out with. I think when I'm like talking a certain way on my comfort level, I'd say.
Are you on your comfort level now?
Yeah, I feel pretty comfortable. Yeah.
Okay. Well, how do you even find time to write, with kids? I mean, is it like a structured kind of thing, but what if something hits you?
Yeah, it's structured. It's definitely structured. I thought when I had my first kid, I thought I'd be like, he'd be in the studio and I'd be writing, and I tried that and realized that was not going to work. So no, it's very structured, but like I said, I think that, I'm the kind of person that I hang on to things a long time, and writing helps me get through things, and so, I mean, the stuff I want to write about now, I have a lot of stuff I'm working on we're getting ready to leave in a month for tour. But I've got a lot of fuel for that fire to write about right now, and it's not going anywhere. So it just depends. I just got to make that time, So.
Are you taking the boys on tour with you again?
Yeah, I am.
Oh my God.
I know it's wild. It's wild, but it's like I've been doing music my whole life. I've been touring like majority of my life, and so it's what I know how to do. And I think that to some people, touring in general and that lifestyle would seem really foreign, but for me, it's my life, and I'm so used to it. So bringing a couple babies on the road is not really that different. It's a lot, but I think the most important thing is I surround myself with people that are part of my family. You know what I mean? And I'm very particular about who I bring out on the road with me, because they're around my kids, and their energy becomes my energy, and vice versa. And like, we're going to bring that energy to a show where fans are feeling that. And so I'm really protective of the vibe for sure. But yeah, it'll be fun.
I'm glad you like your kids, because can you imagine like if one of them is a slight problem and you got to take them all the way on tour with you? And
nah, I love my babies. My babies are first, For me, like being a mom is first. And like, I think, everything I do at this point in my life, this is just me, everyone's different, but I feel like everything I do is for them. I want to make sure that I'm doing things in my life that are like right now I'm putting out an album, and like, I think that will make them proud of me. I think that will make them want to go after their dreams and do things like that. And pulling them out of school right now to go on tour, I think is cool. Like, I wish I was pulled out of school when I was in elementary school to go on the road. I think it's so cool. Although, like, I have a 1-year-old and a 4-year-old. So the 1-year-old's not even in school yet. But So I think it's good to show them a versatile lifestyle. Like, I think that one of the most valuable things you can teach your kids is how to be versatile and how to be resilient, you know? And so it's out of the norm, but I think that it's good for them.
So I assume it's not a big party bus.
Not at all. No.
All the band members got to be to sleep by 9 p.m. so the kids can go to sleep. And
that's not true. Like, I think a couple people drink sometimes a little bit, and I know people are smoking out there off the bus and whatever. And that's fine. I think at this point in my life, like, I'm 38 years old. Like, the people I want around me are people that can carry themselves with whatever they do. So. It's not like a sober tour or anything like that, but I think that people at this point in my life, like, I'm bringing people out with me that are the most important thing is we're going out, we're playing a great show for people, and I've definitely played with people in the past that are drinking too much and not playing the right music, and it's just not respectful to people that are buying tickets to come to a show. So no, this isn't that crew. So it's a good bunch of people.
It's also not respective of the audience that, continues to talk. I can't stand that when I'm at a show and it's like people think that they can sing better than you, and it's like, no, just shut up. Let her sing. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, people sing really loud at my shows, but for the most part, like, I feel like the audiences that come to my show are not super talkative, but it always is harder to play to a crowd. I think that is talking. But usually I feel that, like, the places that are like that the most are like industry events. Like, I played industry events before where it's like they're talking through the whole thing, and it's just like, why are y'all even here, But if you come to like a ZZ Ward show, it's not like that. It's more intimate and people are there to hear the music.
I saw you open for Lindsey Sterling at Pacific Amphitheater a couple of years ago, and I actually came to see you because I was so impressed, and then I became a Lindsey fan also.
Oh, awesome! Yeah, she's got a great show. She's wild.
You did a great song, Ride, with an amazing guitarist, Gary Clark Jr. I don't know if you wrote that for the movie Cars or if that was on your album beforehand and then Disney decided to use it.
We wrote it for the movie. I was asked to if I wanted to try to write a song for the Cars 3 movie. Me and my husband, Evan. Evan's a songwriter, an incredible songwriter. We booked a studio, got together, tried to write a song, came up with a song, sent it to them. They didn't like it.
The producers didn't like it? The film producer?
Whoever was making the movie that, like, I don't remember who it was or who was ever in charge of putting the music in the movie, didn't like it. They were like, try again or whatever. So we were like, oh my gosh, should we book another session at a studio, not at the house or anything where we live. We just have to go professional, go to the studio, try to write a song. So we like go to the studio where they're like all day. We don't come up with anything, but we like most couples do, talk for like an hour about what we're going to order for lunch. We ordered lunch. We had a great day hanging out, but we didn't come up with anything. We felt defeated. We were driving home. And as we were driving home, like, I think it was either Evan or me. I don't remember who it was just like, da, 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 and we were like, wait, get out your phone. Like, started recording the song. We were writing it on the way home, and we wrote Ride on the way home from the studio. Great. Yeah. So, and they ended up using it.
Oh, that's great.
So what happened to the first song? Did you ever record it or did you just dump it?
No, I don't even remember. We just dumped it. I don't even remember what it was.
Use it for the next album. Remember it. Remember the bits.
B-side on the single. Oh, we don't have singles anymore, do we?
Oh, I think, artists, that's the way it now. Just, you put out new product and your fan base at least can hear it, right? So it doesn't really matter with putting out.
It doesn't matter. I think that, like, if something is good, though, like, it won't go away. Like, I feel like songs that, like, we thought were good over the years, like, you can use them for something else too, if something is good. And if it's not good, it's just it won't hold up. So.
Well, besides being a mom and a singer and all the other things that you do, writer, guitar player, what are some of the other things that you like to do that keeps ZZ Ward alive?
Not much right now, honestly.
That's enough to do it. You're doing it.
Being a mom, and I wouldn't say being a mom because everybody moms differently, but the way that I mom is my kids are first, and I try to spend as much time as possible with my kids and being present with them. There are times when I'm with them and I'm like, how am I going to come up with another game? Like I cannot in my head, like I just cannot come up with another game that we can play. But I always tell myself, as long as I'm here and I'm not on my phone and I'm not on any screen and I'm just with my kids, then I'm doing a good job. And I just tell myself that all the time. And so between doing that and then like making albums and going on tour, there is so much to do. Like there's no time for anything else.
Wait, but you learned somehow to make hats.
Yeah. Yeah, I do. I don't anymore though. I don't have time. Once I had my second kid, I was like, I just don't have time to make hats. But I did. I wear hats all the time. I wear fedoras all the time. And so at some point I was like, I want to make my own because I know what I want them to look like. So I started taking lessons from a milliner and I learned how to make hats. And so right before my son was born, I was at home pregnant during lockdown and I made like 22 hats. And I just was like, that was before I had kids, you know? And I was just like, I made all these hats by hand. And since then they all sold out. And so people have them around the country. My fans have them, but I was making them for a music video. I'd make a special one for a music video and then I would, sell it, but I just don't have time right now. So, but I will again.
And you come from a very musical family, not over your side, but your husband's side too, correct? Mm-hmm. I mean, you got so much from your father, playing with him and learning from him, and then your husband. I'll let you briefly explain who your husband is.
Yeah, I'm married to Evan Kid Bogart. He's a songwriter. Gosh, he's worn so many hats. He's a songwriter, and now he's in music publishing, and he's killing it at that. He is the son of Neil Bogart, who had Casablanca Records, and his mother is Joyce Trabulus now. And Joyce managed Kiss and Donna Summers. And, Joyce and Neil were the reason, they were the ones behind the scenes that launched Donna Summers and Kiss and the Village People. And so, he's kind of from a very, very big musical family.
But can he change diapers?
He can.
Okay, good.
And he does.
He does pretty good, but the important stuff,
he's an exceptional father. He's really, and honestly, he's so supportive of me continuing to follow my dreams and being a mother. Like I got really lucky. He's an incredible partner. And look at this crazy lifestyle I live and I'm bringing the kids out on tour and he supports that. And so, we make it work.
I love that. That's so great.
I was wondering, you were on Hollywood Records for your first 2 albums. And if this is dissing them or puts you in an uncomfortable position, then you know what? We go back and we edit all this. So I'm happy to take things out. Was there ever a time that they wanted you to change anything in your music, your style, the songs you were writing, the subjects, anything like that to, I don't know, obviously create more sales?
I don't think that was something that was said. I think that it was more of probably a pressure that I felt, whether it was there or not. I definitely felt influenced by the people around me. To try to make them happy, which, I think you have to be really careful as an artist who you're trying to make music for. And it's not always easy to know what you want for one, and know what sounds best for you and to stick with that. I think sometimes if somebody says in the past to me, oh, I don't think this is good enough, or that doesn't really do it for me, then I'm like, okay, that doesn't do it for you. Well, does this do it for you? But then it's like, why am I trying to make this person happy? You know what I mean? Like, why don't I make music for me? And that's just something I had to learn over the time of my life. I don't feel like I'm reaching for that as much as I may have been in the past. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think one of the things that's so important is you can't please everybody. You know what? You're never going to get 100% of the world loving you. Rolling Stones aren't liked by everybody. Pink Floyd's not liked by everybody. So you know what? I think if you're doing it for yourself and there's people that fall into that, congratulations. And I think the bigger thing is just getting your music out to the world to hear it, to then find that they love you or like you or whatever, appreciate your music. So
absolutely. I think that also things are very, one thing that I think is plays a big part of that is you think about a lot of the bands that or artists you grew up listening to, and who recorded them, who produced them, who was maybe writing for them. All that stuff has to do with the final product that comes out, like if you are working with the same producer all the time, or maybe you produce your own music from the first project that you put out, you're going to have a consistency to your sound that if somebody liked your first album, they're going to like your other stuff for the most part, because you're making it the same way. You're sonically making it sound the same way, but we live in an industry where you can work with this producer or work with that producer and your sound can completely change, so it's interesting. And yeah, you can't really make everybody happy because people get used to hearing an artist a certain way. And that's the way that's the lens they want to see them through,
Good point.
Yeah. A lot of your earlier stuff is really great too. Like Put the Gun Down. And one of my favorites is The Dark, so some great stuff. But it's nice that, on this record, you can do what you feel that you're born to do. And that's the blues. Let's talk about your name. Because, a lot of people want to go, well, ZZ, they got it from ZZ Top or ZZ Hill. But your name is actually Zuzana, which is beautiful, but it has 2 Z's in it. So I can understand why you're called ZZ.
Yeah. And it's funny, people always called me ZZ as a nickname. And I've heard it so much. I mean, even on YouTube videos, like now it'll be like, she took her name from ZZ Top, blah, blah, blah. And, it's all good because the funniest thing is whenever somebody says that now, I just feel like if they only knew like the stories I do, which is like, I played with Billy Gibbons and like we played Sharp Dressed Man together. And at some point he turned to me and he was like, ZZ, are you going to take this next verse? And I was like, in my head, I was like, is he cool with it? Like, he's cool with it.
That was during the performance? He just turned to you and said, sing some more?
No, I think it was during like the rehearsal for the song, but he was like, ZZ, are you going to take that? And I'm like standing there on stage with Billy Gibbons and I'm like, dude, F all of these haters and all of these other people. I'm standing here with the man who just called me ZZ and he doesn't have any beef about it. So if y'all have a problem with it, that's your problem because we don't care. We're cool with it. You know what I mean? Like it was funny, So whenever I see somebody like say something on YouTube, I'm just like, whatever. Y'all don't know.
Yeah.
If you only had a beard and joined that band, it could be ZZZZ Top.
Yeah, there you
just
go.
Saying.
There you go. Oh, I actually had another funny story, and the last one I'll tell.
Yeah.
Because y'all will laugh. Like I was I think it was Burlington, Vermont. I'm getting ready to play live on the air. And this woman was introducing us and she goes, and me and my guitarist are ready to play. It's all quiet. And she's like, and playing her new hit song, Put the Gun Down, ZZ Top. We didn't say a word. We just were like, digga, 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 digga. And we just played. We played and we didn't laugh or anything. And like, we laughed so hard later. It was hilarious. But we just were like, I think we were probably also so tired from being on tour. We were like, whatever. Cool. What are our names? I don't know.
I love that. I love that. We're going to do the bonus round. Now it's just going to be the wacky fun questions to get to know you a little bit more. Like, what band do you regret never seeing live?
Oh my gosh. All of them.
All right, start naming them. We got time.
Yeah, there you go. Oh my gosh, what band do I wish?
Alive or dead?
Black. I've never seen like any bands live. I don't go to a lot of live shows, so like, the Black Keys would be cool. I'd like to see Led Zeppelin. I've never seen the Stones play. A lot of bands. I've not really seen a lot of live
I know
concerts.
You saw, because I saw you there, Eric Clapton and Gary Clark Jr., because I kind of fanboyed when I saw you, but you were running to the restroom at the Forum Club, and I was going to the other restroom, and I'm like, I'm not going to bug her. So
should have bugged her. We could have done this interview a couple of years ago.
I know.
Who would you say? I mean, this is impossible to answer, but your top 5 artists or your top 3, just like you hear one of their albums or one of their songs, and it just speaks to you.
I think of like recent, like, I mean, I love Bonnie. I love Bonnie
Yeah.
Raitt. Anytime Bonnie plays live too, she's so on. Like her pitch is fantastic. She's an incredible guitarist. She's just like the real deal. Like, and she's still doing it. So definitely Bonnie Raitt. I think that Susan Tedeschi is someone I actually don't really talk about that much. And I thought recently, I thought it's funny that I don't say that Susan's one of my influences, but she's also an incredible singer and great guitar player. And then, I know you asked for 3, but I love, Etta James, obviously. Anytime I hear Etta sing something, it just slays me. And then, oh God, can I just say more?
Yeah, as many as you want. I mean, because you're being real.
Aretha Franklin, I think, I don't talk a lot about Aretha. It's like, especially through like some of the stuff on my new album, it's very soul. It's kind of sounds like soul too. And like, I just, God, you hear Aretha's voice just stops you in your tracks, And then somebody I've been listening to recently that I've never really been super into, which is funny because it's such a big name, but is BB King. I was listening to his voice recently. Like every time I hear his voice come on Bluesville, I'm like, now I know why it's BB King's Bluesville. It's like his voice is like incredible. Like he's an incredible singer, and guitarist. So there's a couple people that come to mind.
I love the fact that you mentioned Bonnie and Susan Tedeschi. And one thing that we haven't talked about with you is that you play an awesome guitar. I mean, it's like not that many women can get away with playing a blues guitar,
Yeah. Yeah.
Or any men too. I mean, it's like, I don't mean to be, put a sex on it, but it's.
Yeah. I definitely, when I write, I kind of write in my own way on guitar. And I write to support, the song that I want to create and, kind of play in my own way. And I also play harmonica. And I've gotten it more into playing that over the years. And that's really fun to play live too.
Who would you like to play with that you haven't ever played with? Like the dream person or people?
I don't know. I think that a lot of stuff that Jack White does is really incredible. Yeah. He's one of those people that I really love to go see live because I know that he's a producer and he's got an ear for that. So I think that he really thinks about like how front of house hits and like everything about it. It's an experience, and I think he's brilliant. And I don't love every song that he writes, but I think overall there's like a sonic quality to his work that is just incredible. So I would love to work with Jack White. So that would be kind of the first person that comes to mind.
Reeds?
If you hadn't gotten into music, what do you think that you would be doing? You'd probably still be doing music, but maybe not professionally.
I don't think I could imagine my life doing anything else. I just ever since I was a little girl, I always wanted to be in music. It's always what I wanted to do. And I always excelled at it more than anything else too. I think that that's something, I think that, look, there's a lot of people on this earth and there's a lot of people that are, good at things that I'm not good at. And I've always been, I don't think I'm never going to be the best harmonica player in the world or the best singer in the world. I think what I'm the best at is being creative. I think what I'm the best at is figuring out my own way of doing something. Over the years, I guess I've thought about this. I think that's what makes me unique. I think that's my superpower, and music I'm a very emotional person. And I think in ways, we're brought up in a world, especially now, I see it with raising my kids, where there's more awareness about how emotions are beautiful and emotions are good. But I think that that's something when I was growing up, I probably was embarrassed about, but I think that it's something that really makes, makes me who I am and makes my music special, is because people can really feel it and relate to it, you know? I think that, you know, kids should be rewarded and praised for the beauty in that. Because you never know where it's going to lead them, you know? So,
especially for men. I mean, talk about growing up and, you know, not showing your emotions. I was brought up where you just don't do that, you know, and it took me as many years as I've been alive to finally realize, like, it's okay. And who cares? Who gives a shit? You know?
1,000%, 1,000%.
I don't know if you saw the Fire Aid concert that was at the Forum, and it was also at the Intuit a couple weeks ago. But like Dr. Dre comes out, and all of a sudden I just started tearing up. And I'm not even a big Dr. Dre fan. It was just one of those things where I'm just like, I get so emotional with music and with concerts. I'm like, and I'm just like sitting there in the seat and just crying.
Yeah. I think it's interesting. No, I see it a lot. You know, I have 2 boys, and it's like, I often think that, like, I'm, you know, I'm very like open with, like, it's okay to cry about things, or say if you feel frustrated, or that's okay. And so because of that, like you said, I'm very keenly aware on how a lot of our society wants to raise boys to be tough, to be strong, to not show emotion, to like fall down and get up, or, you know, and
Fight.
And it's interesting, and fight. And especially what's with, I mean, not to get political, but with the energy that's going on right now in the world. I mean, it's even less empathetic, you know, with that. And so I think it's good to question things. I question sometimes, not change. I question, am I raising them right? And like, should I make them tougher? You know what I mean? I'm not really thinking that, but it's crossing my mind with the world that we live in. And I think the answer is no. I think that, like, it's okay. You should value that emotion. You should teach kids how to communicate effectively, and teach them maybe how to defend themselves. Teach them information, give them tools. That's going to help them, not teaching them to suppress their voice. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Wow,
Beautifully said.
beautiful. Oh,
sorry,
my God.
I'm on my mom rant.
You know what? But that's
Fantastic
great.
mom.
Yeah, that's so great, and that's a way to be thinking. You know, especially you, and because it's a man's world. You know, in your business, but it's changing. It's changing. I mean, you know, look how many, you know, successful female singer-songwriters there are
And
now.
producers and engineers.
Yes,
And
exactly.
engineers. I will tell you that, like, this last tour that I went on, I had a female tour manager and a female audio engineer, some of the best people that I've ever worked with. The most just highly efficient at their job, educated, like, incredible. I'm seeing so many more female audio engineers, and it's wonderful. And I'm talking about from the last 12 years of my career. You know, when I first went out there weren't any female audio engineers. There's many times I run into front house people now that are females, you know, all over the country. So it's really great to see it.
That's
Yes,
awesome.
Indeed. Yes, indeed.
Well, thank you so much, Zizi. Really appreciate your time.
My pleasure.
Yeah, and thank you for this record. It's really fantastic, and it's great that the music's great, but I always like it more when the person behind it is a really fantastic person, and you are. So.
Well, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thanks for the good energy, you guys. Have a wonderful day. Okay.
All right. You too.
Okay.
Well, you know, that was so enjoyable. What an enjoyable person. And last night we got to attend something at the Grammy Museum, which she hosted before her kickoff of her tour. She's just incredible. Zizi Ward. Really love it. And thank you for turning us on to her, CW, because I know you've been following her music for a long time.
Yeah, I have. And I really enjoy it. I would highly, highly, highly suggest you check iTunes and go to the store and just sample some of her music. How else, Rita? Spotify? Is it Spotify? Can you listen to?
Yeah, Spotify and all those things. Yeah.
So she's got the first 2 albums I've loved. Last one I didn't get because it was kind of independent, and it was only through I think really through her website, so I kind of missed out on it, but I do want to get it, and the new album is amazing. So definitely I highly suggest you check it out.
The album Liberation is released March 14th. You can find it all the different places that you can get your stuff, as CW was saying. You can purchase the vinyl and CD versions at zzward.com or support your local retailer by purchasing your music directly with them. ZZ's tour begins March 12th. You can find tickets and meet and greet opportunities at her website, zzward.com.
And super special thank you to John Bleicher for coordinating the interview. John is always great with us, and we really appreciate his time.
You can follow ZZ on social media, Instagram and Facebook, ZZ Ward.
And check out our show notes, rockandrollconfessional.rocks. That's our website. You can find links to some of the subjects talked about in today's show, including some new videos. And we also have some really exclusive videos. And we're going to put up some videos from last night from the Grammy Museum. We're going to put some of those up and some photos and some other live stuff that we've got hold of that nobody else has. So if you're a ZZ Ward fan, go check it out. Scroll to the bottom of the page and you'll see kind of the exclusive stuff. So there you go.
Please support the podcast by subscribing wherever you can, writing a review, follow and comment on Instagram and Facebook, and sharing our posts with your friends.
Yeah.
That is it. We appreciate all of you for listening and for giving us a review. And we got some great stuff coming up, and we really hope that you enjoy.
We're almost bombarded by stuff coming up.
But it's so much
right?
Good stuff.
Good stuff, though. Okay, everybody. See you soon.
Have a lovely life, okay?
Okay, bye.